All right, Shalom. Get right into it. Let's do it. Good. I know it's called. All right, so we're gonna give our praise and glory to Yahweh by Shem Abishai.
Most dangerous time possible during the darkness of night. And we are only now starting to understand the full scope of what they wrought. Take a look at this. This is the town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi. As seen from above, the path of destruction looks unending. From the ground, mile after mile of rubble, houses reduced to nothing. One mayor said his whole city is now gone. The tornado's so strong, they tossed his car into the air like a toy. This is the path of the storms. As many as 12 reported tornadoes ripping across Mississippi and Alabama. At least 26 people killed across the two states. Rescue workers were out in full force overnight, and they will be working into tonight as well. We have two reports tonight, beginning with Priscilla Thompson in Silver City, Mississippi.
The devastation was swift and severe. Deadly tornadoes touching down in the darkness of night across Mississippi and Alabama.
When did you notice something was going on?
When I saw the tornado.
Yeah, you saw it.
I saw it.
What'd you see?
A big whirl, big two tornadoes together.
The damage hard to fathom. Parts of homes wrapped in trees, 18-wheelers upended, entire blocks flattened. State officials report at least 25 people dead in Mississippi, with dozens more injured. The governor issuing a state of emergency.
Matter of fact, me and my relative, we was texting at the time when the storm was coming through, and I got to hear his last words.
At least 12 separate tornadoes touched down. One on the ground for a trail of 80 miles, leaving mass destruction in its wake. In Rolling Fork, Mississippi, where at least 13 died, one tornado is believed to have sent debris more than 30,000 feet in the air. Rolling Fork's mayor saying his city is destroyed.
And what we're doing now is assessing all the damage around, along with the volunteers from various counties that are here helping us to locate folk who are trapped in their homes.
It was chaos.
Tracy Harden says she was lucky to survive, riding out the storm in the cooler of the dairy bar she and her husband own.
Is the cooler still back here?
Yes, this is the portion we were in.
How are you doing emotionally right now?
If I don't talk, and if I just stay busy helping somebody, I'm okay. I just don't want to stop and think about it. I don't feel like I've processed it, and I don't want to process it.
Their business now obliterated. The National Weather Service today deployed 3 survey teams to assess the damage. Images we gathered from overhead giving an initial sense of the scope in Silver City, Mississippi.
This was a room that we're standing in.
Yes, so this room right here, there was a couch that sit right here, an area couch. It's no longer here. I don't know where it's at.
Throughout the Southeast today, rescue efforts have been underway. In Alabama, where one person died, Morgan County Sheriff deputies pulling a man from the mud after a trailer overturned. He's now one of the lucky ones, as officials caution the death toll from these storms could very well rise.
And Priscilla Thompson joins me now from Silver City, Mississippi. Priscilla, give us a sense of the damage you're seeing there.
Well, Jose, the family who rode out the storm here came back to find the entire back half of their home destroyed. And while they came back to this, there are so many others here who came back to nothing. Jose?
Priscilla Thompson, thank you. Just about 30 miles southwest of Silver City is hard-hit Rolling Fork, Mississippi. Here's what it looks like today. The devastation, astonishing. That town now simply gone. Courtney Ann Jackson from our station WLBT is there. Courtney.
Jose, Rolling Fork is already a small community. The businesses that they did have now mostly been leveled. This car, an example of what we're seeing all over the town. These windows shattered, many of them busted out. You see cars on top of one another. This is at a restaurant here in town that they say was one of the main kind of hubs of folks gathering in the community. It will be sorely missed, we're told. Residents that we talked with, they're trying to process things. We saw one woman with tears streaming down her face saying, "Thank Jesus, I am still here." She says she'll replace those material possessions. The state and all of the nonprofits are already arriving here in Rolling Fork, trying to figure out how they can step in and just figure out where these people will go. Jose?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
So you see, Psalm 9 verse 16, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executes the wicked and snares in the works of his own hand. Right, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executes. All right, let's go to 1 Samuel 2 verse 6. It said, the Lord kills and maketh alive. He brings down to the grave and brings up. Verse 7, the Lord make poor and make riches and bring low and lift up. Oh, yeah. Okay. Job 4 verse 7. He said, remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or when the righteous cut off. Even I seen that plow iniquity and sow wickedness and reap the same. Verse 9, by the blast of the Most High they perish, and by the breath of their nostril are they consumed. Right? Job 4 verse 7 said, remember, I praise thee, whoever perish being innocent, or when the righteous cut off. Right? Remember, I praise thee. Isaiah 55 verse 6. Isaiah 55 verse 6. As you see, the tornado, what is it, Mississippi? Yeah, and these, what is that? Tornado killed dozens across Mississippi and Alabama. Man, Mississippi town is devastated. Man, all judgment of the Lord, man. It's a fearful thing to fall to the hand of the living power. There's a couple more little bit.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one had.
Brett joining us now by phone. Brett, I was just sharing about how yesterday you set this up by saying these storms are going to race. That's going to be a major concern. But this morning in the light of day, what are you seeing? What did these storms do in Mississippi?
Well, Amy, we are going through the community of Midnight, just southwest of Silver City now, headed toward Rolling Fork, where some of the worst damage has been indicated this morning. But from what we're seeing, Silver City is a really small community there on Highway 49, and it was very much devastated. Every structure in town has pretty much sustained some type of damage, if not total destruction. We were just there taking some aerial videography of the scene. The best way to get it was a glimpse from the air, because they're still working down in the community. We were doing search and rescue there last night off of Jackson Avenue, where unfortunately we even had some casualties that we were trying to help that did not make it there. And you and I talked about this yesterday morning leading into this event about how fast moving the storms could be. how the worst of the weather could come during the overnight period, nocturnal tornadoes being the most deadly in the Deep South. And I hate to say that, but it absolutely panned out the way it was forecast. I think, everybody sounded the alarms yesterday for what potential we had. And unfortunately, thus far, we still lost 23 lives. So I'm really just trying to wrap my head around that at this point.
You know, Brett, it's going to be a situation, I think, here in the light of day. The devastation and the story here expands with heartbreaking results. As you're driving through these places, could you explain a little bit about what this part of the country is like? Because when you talk about Smithville, Mississippi, which is only 200 miles from where you are, and as you approach Rolling Fork, Smithville has on record the most devastating tornado in America, the EF5 back in 2011. These people know about severe weather, but the structures are not conditioned for winds like we saw last night, not twisting winds at the surface like that.
Well, absolutely. This is rural America, guys. There's a lot of poverty level people that we have live here. The structures are not built as well as, some of the more populated areas. And unfortunately for us, there's a lot of, there's a ton of farmland here, a ton of fields. So I will say that the tornado did traverse through a lot of forested area, and then it went through a lot of fields out in the Mississippi Delta. So if you put this tornado 60 miles south, it's a whole lot worse in terms of a death toll. However, this went straight through the communities. It went straight through Rolling Fork. It went right through their downtown. It went through town.
On top of them. But in this scenario, it was emergency situation.
Moving across 49 and into Silver City, we proceeded right behind the tornado. We were within a quarter of a mile of the circuit and to drop the interview and drop.
So you see how much time let's go to Isaiah 55 verse 6. Isaiah 55 verse 6. It says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, and call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his ways, and the righteous man his thoughts. Let him return to the Lord, he will have mercy upon him to our power, for he will abundant of pardon." Verse 8, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Lord. For as the heaven are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." So, man, right, seek the Lord while he may be found. Let's go to Isaiah 45 verse 7. It said, "I'm from the light, I create darkness. I make peace, and I create evil. I'm the Lord, I do all these things." Right, you do all these things. Okay. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. It said, "The just Lord in the midst thereof, he will not do iniquity every morning. Does he bring his judgment to light? He fail not, but the unjust, no shame." Right, the unjust, no shame. Zephaniah 3, verse 5. "The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity every morning. Does he bring his judgment to light? He fail not, but the unjust, no shame." Right, the unjust, no. Luke 13, verse 3. Luke 13, verse 3. "I tell you now, but except you repent, you should all likewise perish." Right, I tell you nay. Luke 13, verse 3. "I tell you nay, but except you repent, you should all likewise perish." Right, you should all likewise perish. Right, you should all likewise perish. So that should be it right there. So, hey, tell you now, except you repent, you should all likewise perish. So we're going to close out right there. We're going to give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Rashad, double honor to the Apostle Brother Elder Greg Millstone. Shalom to the hopeless elect. Man, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Man. Okay, shalom.